ISCJ-TV. Okay. Thank God. It has to be that. Yeah, it is. ISCJ-TV.
هبعت لك اياها لنا هلا.
We are live.
It comes up on YouTube right away. You don't have to send it.
Okay.
Yeah. You look nice.
لا عندي حاجة. جيب لي من نحطيهم just in case.
Don't bang it.
Hmm?
Don't bang it.
ما شاء
Assalamu
الله.
alaikum, everyone.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Imam Chebli, we'll wait another minute and then we'll get started. I know people are joining the room, I see. And
ما شاء الله.
inshallah, we want everyone to join. Please spread the word, share the link. For those that are already in the room, make sure you guys are sharing the link with other folks through your social media. All right. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum again, everyone. ISCJ community and our beloved Imam Hamad Chebli. How are you today?
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, brother. جزاك الله خير.
Alhamdulillah. So last week we had our first kickoff session with episode 1, getting to know your Imam, Imam Chebli, and I think we had some good fun. We learned a lot about you and your family, and at the same time, you also educated us, myself number one, and just the way you told your stories and the different questions that the different answers you gave to the questions that we got from the community. You also gave us knowledge, about our deen also at the same time. So that's a wonderful job by you, and the feedback was so good that we felt like we could do this every Sunday. So for the community, inshallah, our goal is to do an episode with Imam Chebli every Sunday night, inshallah.
Inshallah, Jazakallah khair for your comment, and may Allah increase our knowledge to share it with everybody. And you are very humble to say that. And may Allah reward you, brother Arif, and your family.
Ameen, ameen. And this is a team effort, a community effort, and that's why you always hear me say, hashtag one community. So before we actually jump into the questions and get to learn about you, Imam Chebli, and your family, and about our deen, I did want to mention to the community that's watching right now live, and the community that will watch it on replay or later on, because everyone's busy doing different things. So I know other people will be watching, but just from an ISCJ standpoint, we're trying to provide programming every night. You're going to see. So tomorrow night we have Shomel Malik. They'll do the part 3 of Stories of the Sahaba, inshallah. And then Tuesday night we're going to have an ISCJ community update, inshallah. So we will have ISCJ Chairman Magdi Haggag. We will have ISCJ President Muhammad Ashraf. And then we'll also have Sheikh Ashur from Quran Academy. We'll also have Dr. Ahmed from ISCJ Lit. And we'll have Brother Osama from Weekend School. So we want to get an update on those important entities under the ISCJ umbrella on what they're doing since this situation has arisen, where the masjid is closed. But alhamdulillah, the knowledge and the learning and the fellowship continues, just in a different way, the same way we're trying to do this tonight. But I just wanted to let the community know that they're going to hear on Tuesday night from specifically ISCJ President and Chairman, and then also the respective leaders of ISCJ Lit, Quran Academy, and the Weekend School, inshallah. So just keep that in mind. And then, again, this is not a plug, but we just have to realize every masjid, not just ISCJ, we right now in a situation that's unprecedented. And please continue to remember all the masajids and ISCJ in your du'as. And also, if you're in the position to support us financially, please mail a check. The information, the PO box is on the website, or you donate online. Because keep in mind, ISCJ still has their bills to pay. And typically most of the collections happen on Friday at Jummah. Other times when people walk in and out of the masjid, people drop money into different slots, whether it's for zakat, sadaqah, Quran Academy, endowment, whatever it is, alhamdulillah. So just keep that in mind. Again, I'm not going to push any further, but everybody, that's an amana on yourself, right? That if you had come to the masjid, you were coming these past 2 weeks, you would donate something. So keep that in mind and see what you can do, and tell others also, right? Because again, this is our masjid and we want to keep it open and operational, not just physically, but again, there's so many things that are happening behind the scenes, inshallah. Bismillah. So with that, Imam Chebli, let's get started. It's been a another week here where we're quarantined, and I love seeing your smile here, is what nasiha, what advice do you have? What's on your mind right now? I know you've been recording some of the videos, but I'm sure there's something you want to tell the community live right now.
First of all, I will say to you, to the team, to the president, the chairman, to all our mashayikh, you mentioned all their name. I will greet all of them again and include you, Brother Arif, to say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Really, what is in my mind right now, in this second, I am going to say it publicly, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows my intention about the last 3 comments you make. About number 1, I will order myself to look at my checkbook to say, Hamad, how much money you donate last year, 2019, to the ISCJ as your beloved society. And I remember the last check, I give it in the beginning of 2020, if I'm not mistaken, the record is there, $1,000. I will start, inshallah, mailing my check $1,000 at least to cover the 4 Fridays. Every Friday we put some. This is the first $1,000, just to be practical. When we say something, we have to do it, inshallah. Second thing, Brother Arif, you mentioned the name of the brother and the sister serving the society. Let me go back to the segment we have it, inshallah, about to know your Imam. Allah know my intention, not intentionally. I did not mention the name of Brother Sharif Patat as one of the ISCJ member. You remember, you told me you mentioned 8 of 9, and the reason his name slipped my mind in that day, because I was thinking between him and his wife,
MashaAllah.
Yeah, which one is the board? And I did not mention that, but here I apologize to Brother Sharif, not mentioned his name, inshallah ta'ala. And thirdly, yes, this week was a little tough for me, is in my mind, I have to sleep with it. We have a janaza, Brother Yusuf, we pray for him, inshallah, how the janaza will conduct through the Afzal. And we have to keep connect with our masjid before we go anywhere, inshallah ta'ala.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Imam Chebli. You're very kind and very generous, in terms of supporting the masjid in so many ways. And, your memory is incredible that you made it a point to make sure you mention Sharif. So, you don't know what the questions are. So just so the audience knows, Imam Chebli has no idea what I'm going to ask him. So last week, for those that missed it, is I asked him, name all 9 board members. And mashallah, he mentioned all 8 of them very quickly, and he left out one, but this week he corrected it. MashaAllah, he added on and he answered that, Brother Sharif. But last week, Imam Chebli, I also asked you, which is your favorite board member? And you didn't answer that question last time. Are you willing to answer it this time?
Today, yes, I answered that. I'm very happy to answer all of it. All this question, all our brothers and sisters who are serving the society in the 2020 in this kind of difficult, all of them, alhamdulillah, are the best of the best, because none of them said, I am not doing this, I'm not doing that. They still carry their responsibility. And that is the real leadership. In the difficult time, you have to increase your service better than when we have, the rosy time. But today, everybody live in difficulty. Alhamdulillah, all of them carry their responsibility, inshallah ta'ala.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Imam Chebli, so, I talk to you virtually a few times a week now. And the first question that comes to mind, this was not even on my paper to ask you, but I see all these books on your shelves. So all these books that are on your shelves, have you read every single book that is behind you?
Once my son Mahmoud was here in the same room, in the same room, because this is our living room. We sit down, we eat, we read the Quran, we pray together. And one of, I think the guests asked Mahmoud, do you think your father read all this book? He said, let me pull one book. He pulled one book, and subhanallah, that book, I took a mark, every page I put a line. He said, see, my dad read all of them. I said, Mahmoud, no, I don't read all of them. I need the book. I know the name of the book. When I need a reference, I will go to that book, open it about the subject, prepare my lecture or my Friday khutbah or my dars from that book, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah, alhamdulillah. So Imam Chebli, this week you recorded a lot of videos. So now, are you an expert on the phone, a cell phone now? Are you the expert? If somebody needs some support, you can help them on how to record a video?
Do you remember when we were in one of the community meeting or together in ISCJ, and I said, Alhamdulillah, Brother Arif is not the president. You remember that joke? I make it publicly. And I said, Brother Arif is the first president of ISCJ in the time of the technology to push Imam Ahmad Chebli too much, to have the cell phone, to have the computer, to start working on it. And Alhamdulillah, the last two video I recorded through the help of Allah first, then my son Muhammad and my daughter Marwa, inshallah ta'ala, both of them are here to work with ISCJ because they raised up here, Brother Arif, and I am pushing them. I use the word pushing them. They have to pay back to the ISCJ what ISCJ give it to them, just to say, yes, we are here to serve, not to be served, inshallah ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, I try to do my best, answering the phone, answering the email, visit the people if I can before this Corona came, but we have to live our life as IT Imam, inshallah ta'ala.
MashaAllah. You're the Imam, you've embraced the digital age, MashaAllah.
Jazakallah khair.
Imam Chebli, everyone sees you in your jalabiya and your traditional outfit. We did talk about it a little bit last week. So one of the questions that came in is, how many different jalabiyas do you own?
Really, I own many jallabiya, alhamdulillah, because every year when Allah invite me and invite my wife to go to Hajj, she insists to look at her husband as an imam to have the last modern jallabiya in that year. And she grabbed my money as a Riyal Saudi and go buy those jallabiyat without my, request or name or order. And subhanAllah, she is the one taking care about me spiritually, physically, and appearance to be here with you, alhamdulillah. And Prophet Muhammad advised us, Brother Arif, وَثِيَابَكَ فَطَهِرْ in Surah Al-Muddathir. In the early surah was revealed to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said to him, O Rasulullah, Ya ayyuha al-muddathir, qum fa'anzir, wa rabbaka fakabbir, wa thiyabaka fatahir, which means clean yourself from outside and inside, and inna Allah jameel yuhibbul jamal. And I thank Allah for the benefit He gave it to us. Let us see it in our body, and may Allah reward you.
Ameen. Imam Chebli, so there's a lot of news, right? Obviously, right now, and we hear from the doctors, and they say sometimes don't go on the phone. Don't, sometimes you could get depressed or get stress or anxiety from these different things. From an Imam perspective, do you have any advice about how much news we watch, how much time we spend on phone or the devices or internet? What can you advise us on?
Maybe I will take the other way, Brother Arif. If we don't use this technology, the cell phone, the iPad, the internet, ISCJ-TV, and what you are putting together, if we don't use it, I will say to myself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment will ask me why you don't educate yourself to use this. Now, there are two ways. Every day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help you. If you are not able to recite Quran, you are able to listen to it. And Hadith al-Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, من سمع آية من كتاب الله كتبت له بها حسنة ومن تلاها كانت له نور يوم القيامة. Roughly meaning of the hadith, if you listen through your cell phone, your iPad, your computer, to the Quran Kareem, one verse, Allah will give you hasana. But if you recite it on that phone, Allah will give you light on the day of judgment. Why you have to be scared by using the cell phone and the internet and all this media to say, no, I will get a cancer, I will get disease, I will get, too much affected to you, it will be a drug in my life? No. When you use it in a good way to teach or to learn, Allah will reward you. But don't use it as a bad habit. You communicate with all that bad website, fornication and this and that. No, Allah will question you why you are using this, not in the sake of Allah, but in the sake of the shaitan. I encourage myself and everybody around me to use it in good means, because this is the only tool now. Imagine, Brother Arif, this Corona come to us 1918. No, I'm sorry. A long time ago, about a couple hundred years ago.
And you talking about the Spanish flu?
Yes, about the flu. And we don't have this communication. How we are going to serve the society? how we are going to see your shiny face, how you are going to let the society know what ISCJ is doing it. But to ignore it completely, it is not the Islamic way, and Allah knows the best, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. Thank you, Imam Shibli. Imam Shibli, is, those that come to the masjid and read behind you for Fajr or Isha, um, do you have a favorite surah you like to recite when you're leading the congregation?
Wallahi, all the Quran Kareem, 114 surahs are, alhamdulillah, dear to my heart. But the surah which I learn about it in this Christ, brother Arif, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take all your stress away from you in this week, in this month. We are not sure how long to go. And the Imam used to recite this surah before Corona, and the people said, Imam, this is the surah you love? I said, yes. That is Surah Al-Sharh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. صدق Allah al-Azim. That is a surah I recited many times and many times related, because it gives my heart more peace, because every two difficulties, every two ease will never ever let the one difficulty go over it. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Every difficulty we have it, Allah created for us two ways to go over it. And one of the way of Corona, to have the media, to have the television, to have the news, to have the internet, to have some people speak to us when we are sitting in our house instead to go to somewhere to seek knowledge. And that is Yusr and Asr. We take the Yusr and we stay away from Asr, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you, Imam Shibli.
Yeah.
Someone is asking, how many pages of Quran did you read today?
Wallahi, one time I don't read anything. One time I read one ayah and I keep repeating that ayah till it touched my heart. And one time I can read up to one juz'ah or two juz'ah, and I don't advise anybody to go further than that by just reading without understanding. And I am implement what I learned through Umar ibn al-Khattab Ridwanullahi alayhi, when he was in the age of Rasulullah and the Quran was revealed upon all of them. And he said, and some Sahaba reported, it took him 10 years, brother Arif, 10 years. Imagine, we are in the year 2020. If Allah let us go over Corona and go to the 2030, 10 years, if any Muslim can read Surah Al-Baqarah, second surah in the Quran, understand the first 5 verses about believer, understand the two other verses about kafir, understand 13 verse about the hypocrite, and understand the whole surah in the Quran, that will be enough for me. It's not the how many pages you read, but I will say how many verse you can understand and implement on yourself. And I will say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the best, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. Imam Shibli, ISCJ and you have a strong bond and a partnership with the South Brunswick Township for many years. Do you have one memory that stands out from South Brunswick standpoint?
Yes, and that is the piece of information I repeated, not for this mayor, but the mayor passed away. We have a picture with him in the township. You remember you were with me and Sister Azra when you swear in for the office, he give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in that time, that mayor invite all the clergy, and I was one of them in the time of September 11. And if you remember, before September 11, we make some donation to the library, and that was big amount of money. And he stood up, he said, the Islamic Society of Central Jersey is the only house of God and only big company, they think we're a company, we are not, donated that big amount to the South Brunswick Library. And right away, he invited me to say, I said, Mr. Mayor, you said we are a part of South Brunswick, but let me tell you now, and the entire world, we are South Brunswick, because South Brunswick is the first township recognized the 2 days of Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, before any township in the 50th state of United States of America. This is the township. I have been here since 1983 as a guest, 1986 as a resident. This is the township. I wish I spent all my life here, deal with the mayor, the South Brunswick police, the chief of the police, the fire department, all the committees we deal with them, especially the zoning board, all this board, they know us, we know them, and we have to give them the credit by be a resident in South Brunswick. And this is a story. We are South Brunswick, we are part of South Brunswick, and we are very happy to live here with our kids, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Imam Chebli. So Imam Chebli, last week, during the segment that we were doing, I would bring up a picture and then ask you to talk about the picture. So be ready now. I'm gonna bring up a picture, and I want you to tell us the story behind the picture, inshallah. So you have to tell us the story behind this picture.
Yeah, this is a picture, I can see it closely. Imam Chebli has no beard. Mustache was done by photographer, just by pencil, to show I am little ages. That is the picture I graduate from the high school in Al-Azhar University in Beirut, 1970. 1970. Then I put the same picture, Brother Art, in my passport when I travel from Beirut to Cairo to enter Al-Azhar University. Then my sister, her name is Zainab, she decorated this, what you call it, pictures behind the picture, and she put it, and this picture was framed and put in our house in Tripoli, and it's still there. Something about this picture, my father reported to me when I went to Lebanon during the wartime. He said, Hamad, one day, the majority of the building around us either was thieves come inside, some people steal the furniture, some houses was burned. You know, the war, nothing will be saved. But one of the people entered the house, he said, this house God protected only because the man in the picture, he think you are, saint or holy man or something. And my father was laughing. He said, no, this is the kids in the block. He just took that picture to go to Egypt, which means this picture very dear to all my family, include my father and mother, include my heart, and we still have that picture hang up in our main salon, they call it, living room in Tripoli. If you call my brother there, tell me about this picture, he will send it to you right away.
Oh, mashallah. Imam, so this was, you were graduating high school, Al-Azhar University.
1970, before I went to Egypt. But as I said, the mustache was done by pencil. You know, those people who take a picture just to make you ages. And if you can look at it closely, you can see it, alhamdulillah.
Imam Chebli, so when you were graduating high school, were you a serious student, or you like to have fun back then too, like the way you like to have fun right now?
Really, Brother Arif, something I will talk to you about it. I seek knowledge in late ages, Brother Arif. I'd not go to the school or to the public school or to Al-Azhar school in early age. I was the tallest man in the class. Maybe I was the biggest student by age in the class. And in all the tradition, if the teacher want to speak out of the class, he has to hire one of those students to monitor which student, making mischief in the class or doesn't do the homework, and do all this thing. And all my life, in the early age, before the high school, and subhanallah, the teacher pick up, you are the tall man, come here. I am leaving to the bathroom. You take care about the class. And subhanallah, that has given me the opportunity to understand myself. And yes, sometimes I was very serious with them. Sometimes they took me aside. Listen, if you don't be easy on us, we're going to beat you after the teacher will leave. And alhamdulillah, never happened, but this is my habit. Wallahu alam, since I was born.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Imam Chebli, is you mentioned the airport before, and I remember when you came to, I'll say New Jersey instead of New Orleans, maybe it was New Orleans too. Who was the first person you met at the airport from our community?
The first part, I have a couple of stories to tell you about it, but I release the person I met him as a first Muslim in New Jersey. His name is Brother Rashan Dusty. He is living in Piscataway. He had the son of Umar and Harun and two daughters, mashallah ta'ala. He is the one, subhanallah, come to the hotel and give me right to come to ISCJ. Second person I met when I came to America to land in New York before Rashan Dusty was Brother Haj Dawood Asad. May Allah give him long life and give Shifa to his wife Amina, because they are serving the site with all the Asad family. The third person I met, Brother Murad Abu Saba. He came all the way to Elizabeth to pick me up from the hotel. This is the second trip. And if you tell me why the third trip, it's a funny story. I wish all the Muslims understand it. And inshallah ta'ala can forgive me what I did. Brother Dawood Asad and Haj Abdurrahim Riyad called me to come from New Orleans. Then the brother who invited me, no name, I like the people that got confused between those two, my beloved two brothers. He said, come to the I will meet you in the airport. In that time, there was what you call it, a company, they call it People Express. You pay $99, you go all over America. No reservation, no ticket, no seat, nothing. I came to Newark and nobody, I did not see anybody in that time. There is no cell phone. I have to go to the pay the phone to pay, put some change to pick me up. I called the person. He said, I'm sorry, I'm not, able to come. Take a taxi, and I pay the taxi, the driver. What I did, Brother Arif, I took the plane again to New Orleans in the same day.
Really?
I did not take a taxi because he promised me to come pick me up from the airport. I took the plane, $99 again to New Orleans. He called me afternoon. Are you Majnoon? Are you crazy? I said, yes, I am Majnoon. I am crazy. I have $99. You didn't pick me up from the airport. I went back to my wife and my kids in New Orleans. Then he called me back. When he called me back, everything was settled down. I have the apartment in Whispering Wood. I have enough food in my refrigerator. Brother Murad Abu Salah to pick me up. Your question was, Brother Rashan Dusty was the first Muslim to meet him in New Jersey after I met Brother Dawood Asad in New York.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Imam Chebli, you lead a lot of salah, obviously, as the Imam. Do you know by your count, your estimate, how many shahadas you've given during your time at ISCJ?
I will refer this question to Brother Wasiyur Rahman, Jazahullah Khair. He did a study for that when he was in charge to establish some of the community we met, in Istanbul restaurant. It was about to bring the elderly together, if you remember, the senior something with the Brother Muhammad Siddiqui before the endowment. They are in charge, and he put those number, how many marriages, how many shahada, how many deaths. And I was surprised. I said, Wasir Rahman, Jazakallah khair for that. But let me go back to my computer. All those marriages, I'm sorry, shahada, exceed hundreds, walhamdulillah. I have the name, I have the time, I have the date, when the brother and the sister, and we still communicate with them, Brother Arif. And I like to give a credit to Dr. Suhair Ramadan. May Allah be with her and give shifa to her husband, Haj Hamid Ramadan. One day she insists, she was a board member. Imam, I have to sit down in your office, give me the name of those converted, reverted, change their religion, come to the Islam, and I give her the name, and she invites them for a dinner in Ramadan, which means those people, I still communicate with them, and they communicate with me, and we keep in touch with them, male and female. And Sister Hiba, alhamdulillah, took the lead after that. And Brother Mustafa, if you remember, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him. He was giving this, but to keep together those brothers and sisters, to take care about them. But your question, how many? I have to go tomorrow to ISCJ to see the computer. But alhamdulillah, they are by 100, and this is my ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept, inshallah ta'ala.
Okay, so how many weddings have you done?
Wedding, you are exceeding, subhanallah, the 1,000. Because I have the record for that, they exceed the 1,000, and the name and the address. And there is a reason, Brother Arif, we don't put those names in the public because it looks
Of
like
course.
confidential. But the number is yes. But the name, who got married to whom, and who divorced who, and who engaged with who, and who break from who, we keep it as a confidential between us and Allah. And to tell the people, the computer in ISCJ, all those names in it, no hacker can reach it because it disconnects with the internet since day one. This is something. Oh, Imam, you cannot do that. You have disconnect his computer from the internet. Not any hacker will go inside and see those names except the board of trustees if they wish, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Imam Chebli, people want to know, if you have to go shopping, you have to get something, would you go to Walmart or would you go to Target?
I will go with both if both of them are located in South Brunswick, because I like to keep my dollar in my town, and I will tell you why. Brother Siraj Wahaj is my Imam. Maybe 25 years ago, I attended one of his lectures, and he said, Imam, if we don't keep our dollar among ourselves, circulate our dollar, we have no future in America. Yes, as a Muslim, we can do that. As a South Brunswick Township, we can do that. And let us bring the business in the township. And I will give you practical answer to your question, inshallah. If you, before you came to ISCJ, may Allah reward you, reward your father, reward mother, reward your family. Our post office or our mail, we used to pick up from Princeton long time ago. If you go to the record of ISCJ, you will find PO Box so-and-so in Princeton. We have to drive all the way down.
Really?
And we were working with the brother Mamdouh Fahmi, may Allah give him full shifa. He was the administrator, and he used to live in 2 Mervyn Richfield Road, 2 Mervyn Road in South Brunswick, nearby. And we say, why you don't bring the mail to South Brunswick, have a PO Box in South Brunswick, and it's easy. And since that time, we changed it, PO Box 628, South Brunswick, Monmouth Junction, sent us the letter, send your donation. Send your donation, ISCJ, PO Box 628, Monmouth Junction in New Jersey, 08852. Don't send it to Princeton, send it to us. And may Allah reward you for that question, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. Only Imam Chebli, only you can take the question of Target or Walmart and turn that into an opportunity to make people give a donation to ISCJ. MashaAllah.
Jazakallah khair, ya akhi. We have to, inshallah ta'ala, just to read between line, and may Allah reward you, brother.
So Imam Chebli, you make a good point, right? So to support our local businesses. Hey, and I'm going to take a second here to do a PSA. A lot of the businesses in South Brunswick, for those that live in South Brunswick, and obviously wherever you live in North Brunswick, Franklin, doesn't matter, Homedale, support your local businesses right now as you can, because a lot of business has gone down, and we know the situation that we're in. So as long as you're complying with the curfew, social distancing, and if there's a way for you to support the local business in your town, wherever you're living right now, please do so. That's very important. We want to make sure that our local businesses are able to stay afloat and thrive, even if possible, during the situation, inshallah. Imam Chebli, did you do any exercise today?
Yes, I did. I find a robe in my signing room, sunroom was cut off, and just to put on your feet and you push your hand up and down. I fixed it, and I run it more than 50 times between my feet and my shoulder. Yeah, 50 times up and down.
Really?
After I fixed it, it was broken. Yeah, 50 times. 1, 2, 49, 50. I do it for my shoulder, my muscle from the back, because I am very tall. If I, does not do those practicing, maybe my spine will be curved, soon, and everybody have to say, what happened to this tall Imam? He was 6.2, now he's 5 point. It doesn't work. We have to practice and do all my thing, inshallah ta'ala.
Well, Imam Chebli, you, mashallah, you have to pick up all your grandkids also. So you have to stay strong.
Really, the only one now I not fighting with him, I mean, but to struggle with him, his deen, mashallah ta'ala. And just mashallah, he became more than what we suppose as his mother, his grandmother, and his mother feeding him, too much. And mashallah, he became little heavy, inshallah.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Imam Chebli, so you mentioned feeding. So last week we had so many questions about food, right? Biryani and this and this. And so but we didn't touch on, we talked about, coffee or tea or chai. We talked about orange juice, but we didn't talk about your favorite dessert. What sweet item do you like?
Yesterday, not yesterday, one day before yesterday, I walked in the kitchen to find something to eat. And my daughter-in-law, Lena, Khalid's wife, she said, "Uncle, don't touch anything." I said, "Okay." Is there Corina here in the kitchen? She said, "No, no, no. I already made banana cake." I said, "Banana cake?" He said, "Yes. Give me 2 slices. I will send you peace." And subhanAllah, she did it, and I ate 2 pieces banana cake from the hand of my daughter-in-law, Lina, and may Allah reward her, which means anything halal, my stomach will take it. And I never say no to any halal food, inshallah ta'ala. Halal, sweet cake, inshallah ta'ala.
Alhamdulillah. So Lena, you got a shout out, mashallah. All right, so we have a question from Shamim Ahmed. Imam Chebli, do you do any housework?
Yes, I did. In this time of Corona again, I was able to clean my garage twice. I have to collect all the toys for my kids to put them together. I have to clean my son room. We never use it except one day for the engagement of the kids. Sister Atiya Aftab was here. She is the one suggest Sister Murdiya put the food in this area, don't to put inside the house. I have to clean it, and I hope Marwa will go right now, take a couple of pictures for this sunroom and show it to you. And this is my exercise from 8 till 9 before I start on the phone with you and with all the community every day, every day, every day. I have to do something.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Right, Imam Shibli, in the past hour or 2 hours, news came that President Trump is going to extend the social distancing till April 30th. And undoubtedly that will affect the masajid for Ramadan and Taraweeh. Do you have any advice for us? And do you want to, I know we haven't been doing Jummah, we haven't been doing the congregation. People have been saying, well, why aren't we doing virtual Jummah or virtual prayers? And I know me and you have spoken about this, and all the scholars have said unanimously this is not permissible. The same thing for Taraweeh. Is that a fair assessment on Taraweeh? Can somebody listen and follow Taraweeh from home?
Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah akbar. This question today came. You remember when I talked to you, Brother Ashraf called me, I called him, we talk to each other almost every other day. He put the same question, and I said to him, Brother Ashraf, I took the position, no Taraweeh behind any Imam, either local or national or international, not only for the distance, but before to be shoulder to shoulder in this masajid or a parking lot or anywhere on the basement. No Taraweeh. Number 2, can I pray behind Imam Sheikh Muhammad Jibreel? I talked to him yesterday, and he sent a message. I make it on the air. Sheikh Muhammad Jibreel stay with us in ISCJ 6 months, more than any masjid in the world. And the one invited him, Hajj Abdul Rahim Riyad Jazallah Khair, when we have the beginning of Nur Iman School. He sent his salam to everybody. He is not leading Salat al-Taraweeh anywhere in the world, and nobody can pray behind him from distance. My position, inshallah ta'ala, just to say to people of ISCJ, Salat al-Taraweeh, it is not obligatory. We dropped the obligatory salah as Salatul Jum'ah. We dropped the obligatory salah, the 5-time salah. How we are going to say, I'm going to do Salat al-Taraweeh, not obligatory, behind Imam this or that, we should not do it. But we pray nafila at our house, with our wife, with our children, not to be in public. Number 3, Brother Arif, related to this salah, was gathering together by Umar ibn al-Khattab, not by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How I'm going to leave the sunnah of Rasulullah, then I will take the sunnah of Umar al-Khattab radwanullah alayh. But we did, and we pray Taraweeh in a 20 rak'ah, 8 rak'ah, 13 rak'ah, when we are in the safe place. The governor said he's going to extend it. I will appreciate that, and I will apply the rule and the regulation which the government, the leadership of this community, they know about the danger more than me and you. And we ask
Yes.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. Thank you, Imam Chebli, for making a very clear, this should be very clear to the entire community now. Again, it shouldn't be a surprise and we should follow this, inshallah. Thank you very much. Imam Chebli, I'm ready to share the next picture and I want you to tell us the story. Not only a story about this picture.
Picture, brother Arif. Sorry to
No,
tell
people love the pictures. And, even your kids and grandkids say you love pictures more than a teenager. Imam Chebli was made for Instagram.
La ilaha illallah. Jazakallah khair. This is a picture, brother Arif. The credit will go to Sister Abir, Sister Safiya, Sister Janet Nazif, Sister Uzma, many other sisters, Brother Bahran Turan. Those are the founding member, Haj Abdurrahim Riyad, Muntasir Sulaiman. Those are the seed of Nur Iman School. And some of those kids now, I already performed their marriages. Those behind the Imam with the no jallabiya. You remember no jallabiya now? Ask me, is your salah was accepted without jallabiya? Yes. And subhanallah, I have the big belly because in that time there is no exercise, no walking, nothing. And behind me, the man behind me, the brother Jazallah Khair, used to be the teacher sport. And I believe he died with the concert. We were with him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him the Jannah. And all those girls with the white scarf, we used to bring the scarf for the teacher and the student from Mecca, me and my wife, as a gift. When we have only 5 teachers, 20 students in the basement of 29 Richard Road, then mashallah, now we have 600 plus students. Well, we don't have the budget to bring a scarf for everybody. That is the early age, leading the salah every day for Zuhr prayer in ISCJ. And if I look at the face of those kids, I can go back to my record, and alhamdulillah, if not the majority of them get married, maybe some of them under the hand of Imam Chebli.
MashaAllah. Thank you. May Allah reward you and Nur al-Iman, a blessing for our community.
Ameen ya Rab. Ameen ya Rab.
Imam Chebli, as we talked a lot, and we're going to do this every Sunday, so I didn't get to every single question. But like last week, we do want to recognize and make dua for the people that have passed away this week. And we'll close on that note, inshallah. So I'm going to just share my screen here and show the list of names of the individuals that have passed away this past week. As everybody can see from here, we put up, some of them, we know some of the names, we recognize some of them, we know, but Allah knows who they are. Also, Imam Chebli, there's a name that's not on this list, but I've just come to know in the past hour. Somebody also passed away, a relative. Somebody's uncle, Sister Nadia's uncle, who comes to ISCJ, lives in South Brunswick. Her uncle in Queens passed away last night, this morning. And Brother Rahman is his name. So Brother Rahman, and these names that are here, inshallah, the brothers and sisters, we'll ask you to make dua for them.
Inshallah ta'ala. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن سار على هديه إلى يوم الدين. وقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به. واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا. واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا. واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا. أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم يا ربنا اغفر لحينا وميتنا. اللهم يا ربنا اغفر لصغيرنا وكبيرنا. اللهم يا ربنا اغفر لذكرنا وأنثانا. اللهم يا ربنا اغفر لحاضرنا وغائبنا. اللهم يا ربنا من أحييته منا فأحييه على الإسلام، ومن توفيته منا فتوفاه على الإيمان. اللهم يا ربنا هؤلاء عبادك تعلمهم ولا نعلمهم. اللهم يا ربنا إن كانوا محسنين فزد في إحسانهم، وإن كانوا مسيئين فتجاوز عن سيئاتنا وعن سيئاتهم. اللهم يا ربنا ارزقهم من بين أيديهم نورا، ومن خلفهم نورا، ومن فوقهم نورا، ومن تحتهم نورا، وعن أيمانهم نورا، وعن شمائلهم نورا. واجعل لنا ولهم في قبورنا وفي قبورهم نورا. اللهم يا ربنا فرج الكرب عنا وعن عبادك المؤمنين. اللهم يا ربنا فرج الكرب عنا وعن عبادك المكروبين. اللهم يا ربنا فرج الكرب عنا وعن عبادك المؤمنين. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم وعلى نية قبول هذا الدعاء. May I request all the brothers and the sisters to recite Surah Al-Fatiha as a supplication to Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it. May Allah keep all the masajid and the Islamic tool and the institution up until the day of judgment. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be our protector, our wali in this dunya and the akhirah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. صدق الله العظيم. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you, Imam Chebli, for all your invaluable advice and your du'as that you made on behalf of everyone right now. Thank you, everyone, for turning in. We pray this was a helpful session for everyone. And just again, what I said in the opening, a reminder, we're trying to have programming for the community that is relevant, that's useful, and that's a variety. So tomorrow we have the Sahaba stories with Shamel. Tuesday we have an ISCJ update from the different Quran Academy, Lit, Weekend School, and the chairman and president. Wednesday, be ready for this, guys. Nasheed night. Nasheed night. We're doing Nasheed night Wednesday with some amazing talent from our local communities. So don't miss that. And mashallah, we have other programs and other initiatives coming very soon over the next 2 weeks. So please join in, participate, and tell others, inshallah. Again, and forgive us for any mistakes that we made, any oversights we made, and keep everyone in your du'as. And again, #1community. Assalamu alaikum, ISCJ.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.